I'm so interested to know what you think about this situation, because at the core of this story, it's the question of should you be held responsible if you're in an altered state? And at the center of this story, you have 33-year-old Bryn Spejcher, which is a woman living in California, and her life took a very strange turn back in 2018. She'd been dating a guy by the name of Chad O'Melia for a few weeks, and one night she's hanging with him at his apartment in Thousand Oaks. And while there, they both take hits from a bong loaded with marijuana. And while Chad just kind of got regular high, Bryn reportedly blasted off into what experts call cannabis-induced psychosis, or in other words, like she became delusional, fearing that she was dead, hearing voices that told her that she needed to kill Chad to survive. And so she grabbed multiple knives and she stabbed him. Not once, not 3 times, 108 times. With her also then going on to stab her own dog. And when cops arrived at the apartment, they found Chad dead, Bryn screaming hysterically, and then she turned the weapon on herself. With officers then rushing to stop her, they used batons and a taser. While initially, prosecutors had charged her with murder. A few days before the trial last fall, they downgraded that to involuntary manslaughter. Right, and that decision drew massive backlash from Chad's family and their supporters, with them even protesting outside the courthouse. And Chad's father telling News Nation during the trial,
in her testimony, that everything was about her, me. I can't count how many times I heard her say me. Now, I realize this is not good for her or her family either. But there is a victim here, and she is not the victim.
Reportedly, Bryn did actually apologize to him in the courtroom while sobbing, but then all of that late last month led to a jury finding her guilty of the involuntary manslaughter charge. And while that meant she faced up to 4 years in prison, the judge handed down a sentence yesterday that elicited an audible shock from the courtroom. Bryn got 0 prison time, instead getting just 2 years on probation and 100 hours of community service, with the judge then going on to explain their decision, saying because she was having a psychotic break when she killed Chad, she was not actually in control of her actions. And although California law deems people responsible for their actions even while impaired by alcohol or drugs, that doesn't apply if their intoxication was involuntary. And what Bryn's lawyers were able to successfully argue is that Chad had pressured and intimidated her into taking the last bong hit. So it was seen, at least by this judge, as involuntary. And so as Bryn walks out essentially free, I gotta pass the question off to you. What are your thoughts here? Do you agree with the reasoning of the judge, or do you agree with the family and those outraged?